Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Melos Machina. We are back again to continue our adventures in Jowdeck. We hope you have had a fantastic week. Welcome back, everyone. Hi, friends.
Hi.
Hello.
I just got a nat 20 on my tiny die.
Heck yeah!
Tiny 20?
Tiny successes.
Tiny
It's
dice.
always important to measure the tiny successes
Yeah.
because if you just focus on the big ones,
Honestly, this new dice tray is doing.
heck yeah, heck yeah. New dice tray, sponsored by New Dice Tray.
New dice tray. Who dis?
Who this?
I got two. 'Cause I have a problem.
Well, for those of you who can see, obviously we are without a player this evening. For those of you who are just listening, we are going to be without our dear friend Aaron in tonight's session. RJ is away. We miss him, but he will be here in spirit, and he has written to me telling me what he would like Aaron to do this evening. So,
Safe
Secrets.
travels.
More
So
secrets.
it's
He's
a
been
normal
able to-
night.
Yeah.
Normal night.
We
so
never
much-
know what Aaron's
Be
doing.
ready for betrayal and wild cards from
Great.
Scott.
exactly,
Fantastic.
Perfect.
We haven't had any betrayal.
Oh my
just
god, my
wild
favorite
card.
kind of night.
Yeah.
Well, betrayal
Yes.
from Scott.
Scott's
Wild
the
cards.
betrayer.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Aaron.
I am just here to direct things in their natural
Yeah, you didn't
order.
write this. You have
No,
no,
not at
you
all.
have nothing
And
to do with
misdirect things as well.
Everything in its place.
Before we get into tonight's episode, we do have the message from our sponsor of Melos Machina, Cantrip Candles, and take it away.
Ding dong. You may now move about the cabin. Hey y'all. Cantrip Candles is releasing a new thing this Friday. It is Potion of Flight. It is amazing. It is a nice, lofty, airy, refreshing scent with notes of crane flower, green tea, and sandalwood. So it is landing this Friday, the 23rd. I'm trying to fit so many flying puns into this
Yeah.
thing. I shouldn't.
No,
Let
fit
your
all of
eyes
them
do
in.
it.
Do it.
But it will be available as a refreshing alternative to some of the other scents. But also, if you are in the LA area on Saturday, the following day, the 24th, there will be an event at the storefront in Hollywood at Cantrip Candles from noon to 5. You might see some familiar faces there.
What would
But
that be?
There's going to be an ambient spray making station, origami station. There's going to be some beverages, and also a sale. So come by and snag some delicious candles, or if you're not local, then use our affiliate link that's going through chat right now, and then use our code APAC to get 10% off of your order. Yeah, thank you, Cantrip Candles. That was a lot.
Heck
Hi.
yeah.
Thank
Hi.
you.
Hi.
am
Thank you. Yes.
So looking forward to the ambient spray station. Like, listen, I got some scents that I've been cooking up.
I'm gonna wear my flower crown because it's a Cantrip Candles party. You
Yeah.
can wear a flower crown.
Yeah, it is. It is like you don't have to wear a costume, but also like, why
no,
not?
but it's a flower crown kind of place. If y'all ever visit Cantrip Candles, wear your flower crown because it is flower crown.
Tagline. It's a flower crown place.
Flower crown. I burnt it real bad.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
Mhm, mhm.
beauty.
Well, on that note, players, are you ready to continue in on tonight's episode of Melos Machina?
Who?
Sure.
All right.
The gang goes to prison again.
Oh no, we're just. It's always sunny redux.
When last we met our adventurers, they had returned to see Lark at the collection after a suggestion from the Lady Elaine. Deciding to enter in to have a more direct and upfront conversation, you told him that you had some delicate matters that you wanted to discuss, and then secretly spoke with Calder, who very quickly offered you all a job. It is true that Lark deals in imports and exports and has a package that he is unable to get from the Windsong, a ship that is at dock by the outer locks of Venture, and has seen if you would be interested to collect this package discreetly and return it to him. The party then made their way down to the Lower Docks District, where they met up with Bodgan's Forge. Zach was there to welcome you. And after securing a place to stay for the evening so that you wouldn't break curfew, Aiken and Duathi went to speak with some seagulls and send a message to the ship, and are now returning to Bodgan's Forge, where the rest of the party is finishing up a short rest as Andy creates a set of forgery tools for Finn. Duathi and Aiken, as you open up the front door to Bodgan's Forge.
Well, that's probably not the last time we'll talk to seagulls, but they do need better manners, I think.
That is really the first seagull I have ever, like, truly sat down. I've not seen that many before, because, you know, I haven't seen that many before. But that's the first one I've ever spoken to, and that was a lot. But I have a feeling that a lot of seagulls are probably like that one.
Yeah. But got the job done.
It's going to be okay,
Yeah.
at least as far as what happened with the seagull.
I finished the tools.
Good. Do you you're pretty good with your hands. Do you want to try or?
No, these are all you.
Right.
You're the writing man.
No, I'm the one with the writing implements and mage hand. Mine are not so steady, but
Okay, so you
I'll give it a
want
try.
me- Okay, you try it and then I'll try it if
Yeah.
we need to.
Yeah. And you, the bird plan.
We got a message out to the quartermaster, and he sent back a message saying good. So,
Okay, and the note you'll show when you arrive, or?
I mean, I can. I know my plan was sort of to just be like, hello, I described myself a little bit and was like, hello, I'm the person who you need to give things to, and hopefully he'll just, like, you know, go, oh, okay, and then hand it to me. But if he needs to see the note, then sure. But I was just kind of planning on just.
Sounds like the kind of guy who will say okay to a talking bird, so hopefully to you, that's a non-issue. Well-
Yeah, I don't know.
I gesture to like the many scraps of parchment spread in front of the desk, and
Going well.
well, now that there's some proper tools to work with, maybe, but assuming it doesn't, you just don't let him keep it, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
that's not a problem. I'll just tell him I need it back.
And we figured that we should probably send Duathi with the bag to be able to put whatever the parcel is inside.
Right. Okay.
Because how do you get things out of the bag? I don't understand how you get things out.
How do I get things out of the bag?
Just reach your hand in and you know what you want.
And think about it?
Mhm.
Yeah, you just reach in and think about what you want, and there it is.
Okay, we're gonna jump past the part where I
Yeah.
still do not understand how this works, but that is okay.
Look, I don't quite understand how it works either. I just can make it.
And the fact that it works, I think, is fine. I don't need to know how it works to know that it does work.
But that is kind of what I was hoping, which is that if you don't know, you know, what's in it, how do you get it out of it, you know? So if he doesn't know, if I do get caught, it's just a bag, you know?
Yeah.
I suspect there are means of getting everything out, or
Well,
if
let's.
you get caught, it's better if you're only caught with lock supplies,
And not what else is in there.
or at least not the crackerjack.
Both things are rather incriminating.
I mean, can't we just say that I'm working for all of you, and then all of you and Aaron will be able to, you know, get me out?
But that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But maybe you're right, though, not. not bring the bag.
Oh, bring the bag, but let me hold on to the Cracker-Jack box. I promise I don't
think
have other motives.
both things.
Yeah?
Yeah. Otherwise, we have a lot of explaining to do.
Do you want to explain the corpse of whatever that is to
We
Bogdan?
can leave
It's-
that in there. No one's going to be able to think that one out.
I can see the utility of the bag. Taking the bag with you.
Above table, do I know if someone that doesn't know what's in this bag reaches in the bag, what do they find?
If you reach in to retrieve an object, and if you don't know what it is, but you just think to retrieve what is in there,
Something will come out.
exactly.
Okay.
Anyone can use the bag however they
Right.
would like.
It's
But
just more of a
choosing what
surprise.
comes out is that thinking about it.
Right.
Otherwise, something random will come
Right.
out.
Yeah, so stuff will come out of the bag if they reach in. So
No, I
I
was
think,
hoping.
yeah, either we clear out the bag
Mm-hmm.
or
When
you
you
don't use it.
I think
when you turn into a cloud or whatever it is, can you take your belongings with you?
Mhm.
If you were holding a box when you did that, would it still work? Well, then a bag's probably
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
no more useful than your
no
hands.
real reason for the bag.
okay.
I know. I'm sorry, Dorothy. I wish there was.
It's okay.
I did while you were working on the tools and you were doing whatever you did with the bird.
I'm talking to it.
I was looking through my spells, my notes, my conversations with Pal to see if there's any other way we can lend aid, and I have an idea, or at least a distraction tactic. If you need any
Okay.
cover while you're out there.
I'll take it.
So Pal can go pretty far away from me, and I can see through Pal's. Well, I don't know if eyes is appropriate, but
You can see through Pal.
and I can also channel the song through him, through his form, their form, its form. It's weird. It's a book.
Pal's form.
Yeah. So if I don't think Pal will make it all the way to the ship, but can make it at least halfway, and then I can cast a big old something
There were
over the water.
a couple of guards kind of near the breakwater. They seem restless, but not hyper vigilant.
It's good.
So
Yes, and that's why I'm thinking I might be able to come in as Aaron speaks up. I was thinking it might be pertinent for me to be both the eyes and the ears of the party from a distance while also assuming the guise of, well, one of the gods.
I think that is a very good idea.
Dorothy, I would be able to keep an eye on you as you're traveling, and if I see anyone else who is perhaps observing something similar, then I could let you know, as I still have it in me to do a link.
Okay.
That's a
that's
good
great.
plan.
That would
And
be
if-
really helpful.
Anything does go amiss, you can relay, so you can send out Pal for a distraction.
I think that might be something we want in place before it's an emergency.
Sure.
Pal's pretty independent in terms of their travel distance, but the speed's not so.
So, won't it look like a floating book?
Well, it'll look like a floating face that emits a soft glow, but there's a chance that Pal can travel underwater. In which case, it would look like a soft glow below the surface.
Okay.
But the whole point is to draw attention away from
Mhm.
you, so I'd rather they see Pal than you. I can always call
Same.
Pal back in a.
Okay.
And before you go, I can send you a little quicker.
Okay. I was planning on. So my thought is I can probably, as going to, probably wear me out pretty hard. But my thought is that I can leave here invisible and get to the water, and then I can, depending on what I feel like people are watching, I can either become a cloud or a fish, and then I can become a cloud to get on the boat. I was thinking of originally, I was like, oh, but I could just teleport to the boat, but I look kind of a little scary, I think, when I teleport up 100 things, and I don't want them to just suddenly be like, skeletal elf, and I
Less scary than when you just materialize out of a cloud of gas.
You've seen it. When you do the
yeah, when I do the
Oh yeah, that is scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and yeah, especially with how superstitious ship
Yeah,
People. are. Ship people.
Yeah.
Ship
It
That's
wasn't the thing I had
technical
really
term.
people.
thought about it being scary until people here started to be like, oh, that's kind of scary. So, but
unnerving.
I think about it. It's it's my bones. So, for people who aren't used to seeing bones,
Yeah.
so that's kind of my thought on that.
I mean, it sounds like we have a pretty solid plan.
Yeah.
I can make a pretty convincing image, especially from afar. A pretty big one, but it's silent. So if nobody's looking that way, I don't know how to get their attention. And maybe lights if.
I mean, it's gonna be dusk,
All
so
right.
light will help. Distract at least.
I'll turn to Aaron. Maybe you can, as a god, try to call people's attention to that over the water, whatever it is that we create.
I suppose I could, although isn't it our idea to be avoiding pointing anyone's attention anywhere?
Unless we need to point it away from Dwarthi.
Yeah.
I think we stay as silent as possible.
Yeah, that is like the absolute contingency plan.
So I can try to send Pal under cover of water and just stay out there, standing by and ready for the word if we need it.
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best distraction to see materialize over the water?
Well, I'd want it to be in the water, since Dwarthi will likely be above the water if you're dust.
And then if I'm a fish, I will be far away.
Yeah.
Um,
Can you just make it look like a larger fish?
I was thinking visible from the docks. So like a big fish.
I mean, would that be threatening at all, though?
Might not be threatening, but it might be interesting.
Sure.
We're not trying to scare anybody.
Yeah.
We're just trying to make a delivery happen as quietly and quickly as possible.
Yeah.
There's enough chaos in this city. We don't need to add to it or throw suspicion our way.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll figure it out when we get there, right, pal? I guess there's one thing left to do. Anybody good with a what's it called? Forgery kit? Cool. Well, let's give it another go, and otherwise, just hold on tight to that paper.
Okay. I'll just tell him I need it back. But if we have a duplicate, that's nice.
Yeah. Or maybe try the fake one first, but let's
Maybe
see how
get
this.
his signature on it. It's like a receipt. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, I don't want to accidentally implicate this person if he's just, some guy.
Maybe there's a symbol of the ship. You do you.
I don't know.
Duathi.
I'll figure it out.
What would I need to do to try again with more tools?
So now that you have the tools, this will not be at disadvantage.
Okay.
But
So just a dex check?
dexterity check,
Okay.
straight roll.
Cool. Come on, new dice. Oh no. That's a 2. Mm-hmm. Well, 4. 4 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2 on the die.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
that
know.
changes everything.
And
That
I
was-
doubled. That's a pretty
Campaign
big
won.
difference.
We've won Dungeons and Dragons, everyone.
We did it.
So with this new set of tools, as it's handed to you, you have this realization of, oh, I can see where these would all be incredibly useful.
Mm.
But still having no idea how to use them, you shove the magnifying glasses aside, you pull out the very nice quill and the ink, and use what looks like a ruler to try and trace out perfect lines, and it looks artificial now when you're done.
Right. Well, we can try the best looking one of these, and I point to the. There's a lot of options.
You can reuse that parchment, right?
Reuse it. Oh, all of the ones that I did before, I just used real ink. Yeah.
No, I think maybe Duathi should take the original.
I'll just tell her I need it back.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for trying.
Well, thank you so much for being the only one to put themselves out there in danger for us.
Well, it's very important to all of you. It's sort of the thing you came here to do, right?
I don't think coming here to work for the guy we were investigating was how any of us meant for this to go or expected.
It's true. I'm still a little confused on that point. I'm just also remembering that all of you said that this would be a thing that would help you maybe investigate him a little bit more. So, but anyway, all of you have been very kind to me, and all of you have been very kind to me. So
Most of us.
all of you. So if I can help, and then yeah.
It would be a pretty compelling reason for the law keepers to let you into the archives.
That would be really nice.
And thanks for these, Andy, but I think I'm going to stick to journaling and cartography.
It's okay.
I could try some magical means, but I don't want to expend any more resources.
think-
No,
It's
it's
fine.
we don't need to
Finn.
spend any more time on that.
I know.
Again, this is going to be as painless as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long until what time is it?
It's early afternoon.
Having that moment of like the waiting is killing me.
Okay, well then what should we do for the rest of the day?
I mean, there was the potential thought of not waiting for nighttime.
Yeah, I was just going to clarify, was there a reason?
I think
It obscures.
when I make myself again on the boat, I kind of don't want anyone to notice me doing that, and it'll be a lot easier if it's dark.
Yeah. At the same time, I feel like during the day when there's a lot more distraction out than at night when there's a curfew. But I don't want to make you uncomfortable. so-
Mostly, I know that I really just don't want and they want to see me getting onto the boat because it seems like that's a thing I'm really not supposed to do, and I don't think doing it before or after curfew, makes a huge difference. I think I'll be in trouble either way, so I'd rather have it be dark.
Okay.
That's my thought anyway.
I think that's also when we said you'd be there.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
So
Depends.
easier.
The chance of people noticing Pala as a distraction also high at night. So
Okay.
In the meantime, we play cards, or dice, or whatever normal people do.
You can play fetch.
I don't know what we.
Chauncey.
Mhm.
Okay, I can go play with Chauncey for a bit. Chauncey, do you want to go play a game with me? I'll go sit down by Chauncey.
As you say Chauncey's name, he just instinctually looks up at you,
Do you want to play a game with me?
tilts his head,
Do you understand any of the words I'm saying?
just kind of looks at you, down at your feet, up at you again.
I would just ask him to retrieve something for you.
Okay, Chauncey, could you bring me a beautiful flower?
As Chauncey immediately begins looking around the workshop, there is a pause as he then looks over at your belongings and walks over and picks up your staff, which has the flowers on top of it, and brings it over to you.
You know what? That is good boy, Chauncey. Thank you, Chauncey.
You could also do rock parchment blades.
Oh, that's right. He plays rock, paper, scissors. Here, let's here, come with me, Chauncey, and we'll go sit in the I'll go outside with Chauncey, and we'll go sit outside
Okay.
in the front yard.
As you step outside, there's a moment where Chauncey gets to the door and looks back at, steps outside with you.
And I'll just say, sit down on the ground and then sort of pat the spot next to me on the ground. Do you want to sit down, Chauncey?
As he shifts, as you can see the point of his drill just cuts slightly into the ground beneath him.
Do you enjoy the feeling of the sunshine, Chauncey?
As he tilts his head and just gives what could be considered a nod.
You are so very cute, Chauncey, but I still... sit back and kind of... Then I'm gonna lean down and get eye to eye with him, like, kind of put my schnoot right next to his.
And you're so used to when interacting with animals, their eyes following you. As you've been moving and as you lower down, the glow of Chauncey's eyes is ever present. There's no pupils that
No
are
focus.
tracking you. It is just a glow.
Chauncey? When you woke up, did you hear singing, Chauncey?
He just kind of keeps staring at you.
Wonder. I'm just gonna scratch the top of his head.
As you scratch the top of his head, the glowing of the eyes dims ever so slightly and glows back up.
I wonder what it was like when you woke up. And I'll just sort of sit and watch the passers-by for a little bit with Chauncey.
As time goes by at the forge, Zachary occasionally coming in to pick up some materials. At one point, sits down to take a break, but there's very little conversation. It's sort of that awkward house guest moment of he's there and working and allowing you to exist in your own space.
And you're there.
Eventually, twilight begins to fall on the town as the street lanterns begin to turn on. their soft glow emanating.
All right.
At some point, as we were waiting for sundown, I would have asked probably Zachary, if there's a window, a vantage point, upstairs balcony, anywhere where there might be a good view of either the waterway between here and the ship or the ship itself.
Unfortunately, not really. It's the single story, and you could try and get on the roof. I don't know if that.
Yeah.
I don't know where that falls on the rules right now. But yeah, no real view of the water from here.
Sounds like an Aaron activity more than Finn. Well, that'll perhaps put a damper in the plan. I think I have to see where Pal's going.
Didn't you say you can see through him?
I can. Oh. Right, okay, that could work.
I'll be right here. I'm not.
Maybe I should do some practice. I've never, used this feature in the field before, just to introduce friends. Do you want to help? Mostly I just need to figure out if he can go underwater and, how far and how I see. And also, that's weird. Pal, is it getting dusky yet, or?
The twilight is still happening.
I think, Pal can see better in the dark than me.
Even better.
I mean, it's like seeing with my eyes closed, so I don't know what that means, but okay, that's good.
Dong.
All right.
Well,
Dong.
Dwathi, are you ready?
I'll head back inside with Chauncey, I'm sure, at this point. Give me a moment. About 10 minutes.
Let me get you real quick.
10 minutes.
You'll still be corporeal?
Yeah, I
Great.
want to ask my bones.
Okay.
Um,
You do that.
I'll go find a corner of the room that is quiet.
Does not exist here.
I'm going
The
to go
hammering
find
is still
a corner
happening out
of
back.
the room.
Okay. It is the few corners. There's an area where there are stands for armor. Seems the most empty of every space aside from the sleeping area.
I'll sit down and put my Krishka sa balsas and put my staff on my lap and get the bag out with my bones and just start to sit with them for a little bit in my hands, kind of shifting them back and forth, and spend 11 minutes ritually casting augury.
Sure. Say augury happens.
Will I get caught if I use gaseous form to get over the water to the boat?
As the bones fall, they scatter, and they scatter farther and farther and farther, and as they hit against the wall, they come back and back and come into the center, almost as if their own form expanding and then retracting. At one point, it was very hard to see them all, but now that they're all together, you take this as a mixed response.
Oh, too many variables, too many variables, too many variables.
I say that in Elvish, just muttering it under my breath for a couple of seconds.
Okay. right. I'm ready to go.
All right. Stick my hand in my pocket, get some dirt, and I just go right on your nose, mess up your hair a little bit. You're gonna be fine.
Okay.
And I just
I feel less
cast
bushy.
Long Strider on you, so your speed increases by 10 feet for
Okay.
an hour.
As Aaron stands up, I think it'd be most pertinent to be you, Tuathi, Finn. I should probably have you as well.
Right.
And do you think between the two of you, one is more
I
valuable than the other?
I mean, we'll all be here,
yeah.
so...
Do I can.
All right, I can. Yeah. The four of us are now connected. We have 4 hours with this, and
Great.
But you're just the focal point, right? If Duathi sends a message, you have to send it back to us, right?
exactly.
All right.
Think of me as the switching house.
Great.
And with that, Aaron steps to the door, opens it, and turns back.
1 second. Let's hear keep out, and I'll manifest mind using first level spell slot and slip Pal kind of out, hopefully with Aaron's feet until the closest point where Pal can split off to the water.
Sure. Aaron's still standing at the door.
He's just gonna follow you for a second.
Don't have it follow too close. And as he says that, his whole form blurs. You can see almost like the metallic lines of stained glass shifting over his body, and as they create connection points, his form of him quickly shimmers into the form of a guard. You see the guard's clothing that is that of Venture's guards, the ones that you had seen, and a face that you do not recognize as he steps outside and closes the door.
As just as the door closes, I'll through Pal's perception slip out right behind.
As you are looking through Pal's eyes, you can see a soft blue glow emanating, and it is lighting up the ground directly beneath and in front of you by about 10 feet.
Mm-hmm. Dim light. Yeah. So the second I have any clear path to the water to split off or to find any cover, would take
It is a ways away.
It's okay.
A couple of blocks to get to the waterfront.
Okay.
As you are going, you can't really give me a stealth check.
No.
No, this is just this little orb that's going.
Mm-hmm.
Little orb that could.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very quickly, you and or Pal's path and Aaron's diverge. You head in the direction that you remember as being where the Soggy Dog is. You remember going over a bridge to, and you figure that that is a direct connection to water. And as you take a left, you can see 30 feet ahead a guard, not the guard that you just left, walking away from you and outside of the field of the glow.
I'll try to calm my own mind so that hopefully Pal's is too. And just expediently as possible try to trudge on. I think I move at 30 feet per turn.
Eventually, you crest over the bridge and you are able to then get into the water. As Pal's face submerges, you expect to hear that rushing of water. There is no rushing, there is no disturbance. And as your vision dips under, it's almost as if peering through glass. The line raises straight up. The water is untouched by Pal as his face goes into the water. And the sound does change and becomes more muffled, but there is no bubbling or churning.
Is it as peaceful down there as it seems, pal?
There is no response.
We'll just kind of head through the murky depths out towards the ship as far as my impression is. Mostly just looking to get out towards the middle of the river and not too close to the ship. Pal can go up to 300 feet away from me.
As Pal moves through, it's hard to figure out where you are. Now with no direct line of any sort of reference for the streets above, you move through the canal and then it just opens up into dark.
As I feel like we're kind of hitting the end of the tether distance, I'll just send a mental message to Aaron and let Dwarthy know I think the distraction's in place if we need it. And, well, I don't think I drew any attention.
Very good, Finn. I will say, I saw the glow a little bit. If you you may want to drop it down a couple of feet from the surface.
Good tip, good tip.
The water is glowing and it's unsettling.
That could be to our advantage, right?
Not right now.
All right. And I'll mentally drop.
As Dwarthy, you hear a voice in your head, Aaron's. Pal is in place. If you wish to commence, now would be the time. I have my eyes on you, don't worry.
Storyteller.
Yes.
Above table. Having been gaseous form before,
Mhm.
about how invisible did it feel?
That is very hard to say. It's hard to feel whether or not you are visible or invisible.
Fair enough. I will turn to Aiken. Aiken, about how, because you saw me do this once before, how hard was I to see?
You looked like the burning ash.
Yeah. Oof, not really any fires right now though. Okay.
But if people are looking for
Well,
what,
mostly,
dust on the wind,
you know, I'm trying to think of how many steps to take, you know, but I think I might just start with the fewest steps and become smoke first.
Yeah.
And that way I'm not expending as many resources in case I do get caught and I need to run. I need to be able to run as quickly as I can, so.
and maybe you can use the smoke of the forge for a little bit.
That's a great idea. Okay. I'm going to. You're right. I guess I'll tell you the same thing I told Aiken. This doesn't hurt, so.
Oh, I've been kind of cross-legged on the floor with my eyes closed, just like in Pal's perception. You're still here.
I'm leaving now.
Oh, well, I'm
So.
glad I get to say goodbye. Good luck. You've got this, and Pal's waiting for you. I'm waiting for you.
Going to go over the top of the water, so.
Okay.
You know,
Thank
turning
you.
into a fish hurts more than this, so.
Send a message to Aaron if at any point you feel like you're in danger.
Don't let me stay caught, okay?
You won't.
Absolutely not. Thank you, Dwarthy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Chauncey's rooting for you.
I'll see you soon. And I'll pull my stick towards my chest and hold it tight and take a deep breath. And as I exhale, I will cast gaseous form.
As the two of you see for the first time, in an instant, as if made of clay, Dwarthy's entire body cracks across the whole form, and their already pale flesh becomes a dark gray. And then slowly from each of the cracks in the edges of Dwathi's body, she dissolves into ash and smoke.
And I'll float up towards the top of the ceiling and start to go out towards the forge a little bit and see if there is some smoke that I can rise up with.
There is some smoke that is raising up from the forge.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Um,
As you merge in with this, the smoke, it's difficult to see, and eventually you are just surrounded by more smoke.
As I do, I'll just kind of keep going up higher and higher until I'm up pretty high and start to just let myself spread.
Sure.
And as I do, just start to head towards the water.
And as you spread out, eventually you can see you are maybe 40, 50, 60, 70 feet in the air.
That's so
Yep.
great.
A view of the entire district beneath you. It is dark. What's your vision?
I have dark vision up to 60 feet.
You see the town. It's as if it's at the edges of your vision, where you can see in black and white, but it gets a little fuzzy, and parts of it mold in with the darkness.
I'm going to try to not go any higher.
Absolutely. As you then drift towards the water. You still have the landmarks to guide you, and you can see the light of the city above you, Upper Venture. You know that you're able to head towards the cliffs. Give me a quick survival check.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 22.
Even though you haven't spent a lot of time here, you're pretty good at picking up patterns of light. And based on the upper section, you see the gap between two large sections of lights right up against the rail or the edge of the cliff. You know that's where the locks are, and you're able to drift over towards them. And as you get closer and closer, you can see the dim lights begin to come into view of the harbor master's office at the dock below and the Windsong docked beneath.
I'd like to get just a little bit lower.
Okay.
So I can start to just very slowly, as slow as I possibly can. Which is pretty slow because I can only move 20 feet around. Thank you, Longstride. There. Yeah, I can move up to 20 feet now. So just
Let me double check.
yeah.
This, because I think that increases your movement speed, but I think gaseous form takes that and then reduces it to 10.
Well, yeah, alright. If I end up needing to run, it'll still be
Yeah.
there. Yeah, never know.
This is taking a while to get you to move.
Yeah, it's 10 feet every 6 seconds.
Mhm.
So I'll just, at my speed,
Mhm.
Just start dropping down and keep an eye open. He said he was the only half-orc aboard, so I'm looking for someone who looks orcish.
Sure. As you begin lowering and lowering and lowering, eventually you get close enough that you can make out every detail of the ship beneath you. Now within 60 feet, you can see the deck, dimly lit. You see... Give me a perception check.
which one of you?
That is an 18.
An 18. You can see that there is a single figure that is resting up against the railing of... Now, this is a different ship than or design than the lock jumper. However, it too has a raised deck in the back, It also has a raised deck in the front with a lower midsection. It seems this one is a little bit bigger. And you can see a solitary figure resting up against the railing on the bow of the ship that is nosed up, facing towards the edge of the cliff. The left side of the ship is up against the dock. Seems to be resting there. There's a glow coming from directly in front of his face. You also see 2 guards that are stationed on the dock. One of them is standing by the door to this structured building. And the other one is standing on the edge of the ship itself.
Like on the ship?
No, on the dock.
On the dock.
But
Okay.
the edge of the ship.
Okay.
Okay. The person who is smoking, do they look half orcish?
You do see a mostly shaved head and a mohawk that is pulled back into a ponytail of black hair. And the pointed ears, and as you get closer and closer, you can see a couple of large tusk-like teeth as this gentleman is holding a decent-sized pipe and just...
Is there somewhere that I could land on the boat where the structure of the boat will be between me and the guard?
It's possible. You see a section on the underhanging of both the bow and the stern raised decks that look like they have an overhang that you might be able to appear underneath that.
I wrote down his name. Quartermaster Dorfier. Okay.
Well, I'm going to try and get low and go around down that other side.
Okay.
As I do, I'm going to, in my mind, message Aaron and let him know I'm getting very close. I'm over the boat. I'm trying to land.
That was incredible. I didn't see a thing.
Oh, goody.
Would you give me a stealth check?
You've been treating me too good. I feel like you will betray me, but still, it's not nearly as good as everything else.
That is a 5.
Okay.
Why did I said it and I
Aaron
still
have
rolled
pass
it?
without trace?
I mean, I do, but I can't be gas and pass
Right.
without trace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd have to be close.
I was just thinking we should have done that.
I'm not going to fully apparate myself. I'm not going to try and become not gas
Mm-hmm.
until I feel fairly confident that I'm unseen.
As you nestle yourself in the overhang beneath the upper section of the deck, and you wait, and you hear footsteps. They seem to be echoing off of the wood. Suddenly, feet coming down the stairs. You see a half-orc figure that is looking about the underside of this section.
Is it the gentleman who is smoking the pipe?
Same one.
Okay. I'm going to, since that's who I'm trying to contact, so yee! I'm going to then, if he's the only person I see that's looking at me.
As you reform, as the dust accumulates, he's looking about and his eyes glance over the shadowy area where you are. As your figure begins to emerge, there is a moment of as he looks back. He nods at you as you wave.
Hello, my name is Duwati. I sent you a message.
As he walks up towards you. All right. Well, you get the... Sorry, you caught me off guard.
I didn't mean to start. I was trying really hard to not startle you, but
You're lucky I didn't call out.
I know. Sorry about your heart rate.
It's okay. Dorfier.
I'm Duwati. I have I need this back, but I have a note.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
As long as I can get it back, please. I told him I'd give it back.
He reaches his hand. You can see it's trembling slightly as he pulls it from you rather quickly and looks at it. All right, that's...
Sorry, I'm a little weird.
He just stops and looks back up at you.
Sorry, I'm a little weird.
He walks back over to the edge. The opposite edge now from where you are.
I'm going to duck down, like get a little bit low at this point. Oh, I was saying.
And as he taps his pipe on the edge of the rail of the ship, and he looks down. Evening. You hear another voice. No, evening. And he turns back. He walks over towards the a door that is in this wall that is created by this overhang. Opens it. Turns to you. I'll be right back.
Just
A couple of moments go by. And he comes back with a small box. It looks a little larger than a jewelry box. Not very descript. It has a latch on the front, and it's decently thick in dimension. I believe this is for you.
Thank you.
I'm just going to. Is it locked?
As you try the latch, it doesn't open.
Okay. I'll check it when we get there. Thank you.
You,
Oh, the note, please.
yeah, right. So he hands you the note, and he pulls out from his vest as well a small key to,
Oh, thank you.
this one's mine.
Oh, okay.
See, as you extend the box out, he... Please.
Thank you. I look inside.
Looking inside,
what's in there?
you see immediately two small rings that are sitting next to each other on the top right, and one of them has... It's a thicker ring, and seems to have some 3 square-looking gems. But as you look at the gems, they are blackened and have swirls of silver light that are just almost like little threads being pulled through each of them and pulling a silver liquid behind them.
Whoa.
The other ring, pure silver, very nondescript, has some designs on it that at this glance you don't really catch. There is also a spool of, looks like silver thread, and it also has a little bit of a sparkle to it.
Okay.
And
So far.
in the bottom section, you see 3, they look like brass birds. It's like little sparrows that are not fully metal. They're not fully plated, but you can almost see the inner workings of them, as they appear to be made out of a wire frame of brass or copper. They're dusty and a little dirty, but they're there as well.
All right. Well, that looks like all of it.
as he
Sorry,
gestures
sorry,
to you
sorry,
to.
sorry. I was.
Mhm.
I'm stage whispering.
It looks like all of it. So, thank you.
You're welcome. It's nice to meet you.
I'm sorry that I startled you. I might startle you again here. I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay.
But I am fine and you will be fine. I'm just going to, be part of the air.
All right. As he turns and walks back up to the edge of the railing, and you see he leans over it and just a little louder than
Good distraction.
Good. As I hear him start to make sound. Gaseous form.
As you turn into dust once again.
Okay. Second, first, same as the first. I'll send a message back to Aaron. I've got the box. I'm going back up.
Well done, Duathi. It's perfectly executed so far. Be careful.
Going to do my best. Emotionally, I'm holding the box very close to my chest, but in reality, the box is also now smoke. So
Wow.
As Finn and Aiken, you both hear Aaron's voice. It appears as though Duathi has successfully retrieved the package.
I knew it. Great.
All right, that was quiet. And
Does everything seem good on your end?
So far,
Great.
there's not a lot of activity, simply generic patrols down here.
Keep it that way. Okay.
Did you?
that, yeah, just
Okay.
on the way back.
Yeah. This is great. Keep Pal handy, but
Yeah.
when Duathi is safe here, can you just make him vanish? Perfect. Okay. I just train my eyes to where I last saw Duathi smoke out and just kind of wait.
Duathi, are you returning the exact way that you left?
you betcha.
You betcha.
Okay, because I'm real stupid.
Or at the very least, if it's starting to feel unnatural, I'll drift a little bit. But yeah, I want to go back exactly the way I came.
Okay.
Up real high and about 60 feet up.
Is it performance or deception to impersonate a cloud?
I don't know. I mean, I am a cloud, so performance. I
yeah,
feel
I
like.
guess so.
Slowly, you drift back over the water, over the section of Dry Dock 2 and its adjacent bay. And you can see the smoke rising from Bogdan's Forge.
Gonna blend right on into that.
You do, and immediately, vision vanishes.
I'm just gonna keep trying to move through it, hoping it'll take me back to the forge itself.
As you lower, checking to see what senses you still have in this form.
It is very
Mhm.
not to be punny, nebulous. It's
Senses are clouded.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Mhm.
It's
As you lower and lower, you see a glow coming beneath you, and you begin to feel heat.
Okay, I'm not going to go too far. At that point, I'll start to try and break off and see if there's like a window, or I don't really want to go. I feel like I will still take fire damage if I actually go land inside the forge.
As you exit
So-
out of the cloud, you can see the backyard of Bogdan's Forge, where you see Bogdan working and Zachary assisting.
I'm going to try to not go by them and freak them out.
You can go back through the window that you exited through,
Yeah, let's do that.
as the rest of you see a small cloud drifting in.
I'll think over to Aaron. All right. I think Operation Cloud in a Bottle is concluded. Please get back safe. if you can, unless you have a job now. I don't know.
I'm on my way.
Great.
I'm going to then land, and as soon as I get away from a window, I will become myself again,
As Duathi's form reforges.
tightly clutching the box.
I
You got it.
I will
Got the box.
literally run over and just hug her. Be like, you
Yep.
did it.
The box.
You did
Got the
it.
box.
And I didn't even need to blow up Pal's foam.
Got the box. I didn't even need to become a fish.
No.
That was easy. Well, I mean,
You look
Easier said than done.
spent. Sit down. Sit down.
Okay.
I just.
Okay. I'll set it down in front of me. There you go. Box.
the note.
Got the note.
Oh,
There you go.
that's great. I will take a close look at the note and make sure it's the same one.
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Sure. I may not be able to forge it. Somebody might.
Dorfir is really good at close-up magic.
Mm-hmm. Just hand stuff.
Just hand stuff.
That is.
Hmm.
I'm just making sure it's a 7 versus a 10. Either way, it's pretty good. That is a 10 for 13 plus 10 is 23.
23.
Yep.
This looks identical to the point that you can see the one spot where the ink smudged slightly as Lark was writing it. Either it's an incredible forgery of the entire thing, not just the signature, or this is the original one.
All right. Any complications? Because I think this is good and that looks good.
Weirdly, no. I was sort of expecting that. Not that I was expecting anything to go wrong, but I also was kind of expecting something to go wrong.
Yeah.
I was,
Our track record has been problematic. But
Yeah.
we can make sure that this is not hiding anything else, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've got all night here, right?
So- And I'm pretty sure Lark is expecting us to do that.
I don't think he's expecting us to come by tonight.
No.
No, we
No, we
Go
told
by
him.
tomorrow.
We'll go first thing on our way back up.
yeah.
I don't know what more we'll learn, but this seems pretty cut and dry.
I mean, I suppose I don't know if you have any way of telling if that's all that's in there, but it might not be a bad idea.
I can certainly run a number of tests, especially with some time. There's a
Yeah.
lot we can find out, or at least
Okay.
verify.
Well, if you do that, then you can check what's in there and see if he's. I mean, obviously you've got. I mean, we're complicit now, but you can tell him that he's. He smuggled that in, but it's that's kind of. I imagine that's not a very strong case against him, but I still feel. I know that it's not my job or anything, but I still feel like maybe you should all talk to him a little bit more frankly about the core, because he knows that we know, I think, and I think you should talk to him.
I think this was a test for both of us.
Yeah.
A test that he's keeping good on his word, and we'll keep good on our word. And that's one of those things that you can't rush. I know we've been burned before, but
Yeah.
and I don't
let's-
trust him as far as I
No.
can throw him, but let's work with what we've got. If we need, I don't want to show him what we've got.
No.
I don't know about that, but if we can escalate our business relationship into more out of order territory,
I don't know. At the same time, that proves that we went into it and and took it.
That's your
That's why-
job.
I know.
At this point, it's more of a safety thing for us and you than
Yeah.
he's still in the wrong if he's trafficking this, whether he has good intentions or not.
I'm
Yeah.
sort of curious what his intentions
That's
are.
yes.
Like, where did he get this? How did he get it? And why would he send it to the overseer?
Is he trying to blow stuff up, or is he trying to rebuild something outside of the cities?
Or did the overseer just want something shiny? I don't know. Maybe he just wanted something pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's it. I mean, even if the overseer doesn't know what it is, Lark does. And knows how powerful it is. I don't think he'd just send it to a guy.
I get the impression that that overseer definitely knew what that was. He was the kind of person who liked things and seemed to know things. He was older, you know, and I don't think he wouldn't know what it was. So,
When you don't order twice, get a taster and
Yeah.
then a real deal
Mm-hmm.
without knowing.
I mean,
But the intent is still questionable.
yeah.
Whether it's harm or progress.
Well,
Why not both? I mean, the order controls the who's allowed to hold these, who's allowed to use them, where that power goes, pretty tightly. And well, Venture probably has some here, and River's Meat not so much. So if the order's not giving them the support, progress could look like smuggling support to them.
well, I don't think that overseer liked being there all that much. I hate that. I don't think that that was the assignment he necessarily wanted. So maybe if it made him feel like maybe he was able to do something.
Make a name for himself with what he's been given.
It's also possible it was just a collector's piece. I don't know why you need a sample, but
yeah, that.
I think we should just ask him.
And was the Silas situation an accident? Or.
I mean, Aaron was saying that Silas had a big mouth and that he kind of was saying things he shouldn't have. Maybe he was just kind of a goofer and blew himself up because he's just kind
Yeah,
of a
maybe
goofer.
he got too curious. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Listen, we should.
Did-
I mean, I know Zachary and Bodkin are busy, but let's not
Yeah,
wrap them up in
yeah.
more of this.
now, I've kept Pal out in the water, thinking about Aaron and kind of counting the minutes till he should be back from anywhere on the docks. And at a certain point, when you gave the all clear, did Aaron say his return plans?
He said that he's on his way. You could ask him yourself.
I'd like to look outside and see if I see anyone coming towards the house. Or towards the forge.
Looking out the front door?
Out the window.
Out the
There's a
window.
window out by there, right?
Sure, yeah.
At the window I came in, yeah.
As you turn to take a look at the window, you see Aaron standing inside the front door, the guard form shimmering away. Sorry, that took a little longer than I was expecting. I ran into someone who decided they wanted to take a different turn than I thought.
Oh,
Nothing
okay.
too bad? You look
Nothing I
fine?
couldn't handle.
Okay. Get in. Let's shut
I'm in.
the door.
Oh, he's inside. The
He's
door.
It's just
Yeah.
it's already shut.
He's
Yeah.
already
Stepped
in.
in,
He,
yeah.
You'll
as
let's-
if apparated just as well as Dwathi.
Well, then I guess there's no need for Pal out there in the depths anymore. Come on back, buddy. And with the bonus action, I dismiss.
You get the feeling somewhere a little patch of water just got slightly dimmer.
Yeah.
I do still want to go and look out the window and see if anyone's coming towards the house. Like,
Sure, give me a perception check.
That is a 24.
24. Looking out the street, you can see a single guard walking by. He was fairly close, but he has already passed the house and is walking away.
That's all I've got really, so I'm going to go sit down now.
Okay, yeah, you rest.
Good job.
Erin, you have thieves' tools, yes?
Of course.
Either you or I could try to open this up and kind of see if there's anything else in there.
I think that would be the wisest course of action. Yes.
Sure, I'll.
Please,
Yeah.
I'm happy to, but
So it's a dex check with proficiency.
exactly.
Okay.
And since you have the thieves' tools, yes.
I don't think I do. I think I only have like Smith's tools. This is something we never discussed, and for some reason I thought the tools that I was proficient in were the tools that I had, but that was a lie.
Gotcha.
So I'm proficient in thieves' tools.
Aaron has them, right?
But Aaron has them,
He's
that's
the
why
one
I
to pick the
was-
house
yeah.
lock.
So, where's my proficiency?
If you're lacking the proper equipment, I'd be happy to open it.
Sure.
So hands on over. As soon as you hand it to Aaron, he reaches into his vest and pulls out a small collection of long curved rods, a variety of shapes and sizes, and in one hand fits two of them together, almost like using a set of chopsticks, and fits them both into the lock and puts them away. See, opens up the case and hands it back.
Thank you.
I can go about identifying all of this, but maybe we check the box for secret compartments first.
Yeah.
That might be maybe your bag.
Yeah, I'll try to kind of carefully check and see if there's any hidden compartments.
Sure, as you give it a whole once over, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
All right, new dice. Okay, that's a 15.
15. Looking over it, you're able to... measurements make a lot of sense to you. And looking at the width of this box, as well as the depth of the interior of it, you don't think that there's a false bottom. Additionally, the sides all look at appropriate width, and you even check the lid to make sure that there's nothing that pulls away from the top. Unless something else is going on with it, everything looks on par.
Yeah, okay. There don't seem to be any secret compartments, so identify away.
What's the material? Just out of curiosity. Of the box.
Oh,
Oh, it's wood.
No lining, lead, anything.
None that you saw.
All right. That's a good sign. So the rings, the two rings, and the thread. It's thread amending, right? Or
Yeah.
ever mending thread.
Mending thread.
I'll kind of lay them out in a row on the desk, having now cleaned up all of my shameful work to copy the note, and start laying out other components, specifically the pearl to channel identifies and PAL, of course, and then the spring talon pieces I'll actually hand back to Andy and say, I don't think I can make sense of these necessarily, but they're mechanical, right?
cool. Can I just study it for
Absolutely.
a little?
Spring talons are one of the earliest things that you learn to...
Oh, okay, so I know what they are.
basically maintain and
Yeah.
repair. These don't look. They don't look much like the spring talons that you have worked
Mhm.
on, but you can see where it appears as though an older version of them.
Okay.
Uh,
They're vintage spring
yeah,
talons.
exactly. You're not sure if they still work,
Okay.
but you know enough about them that you feel confident you could look into it.
Yeah. Sorry, above table, I forget what they do.
Pretty much they're used to deliver messages.
Got it. Okay.
They're
Cool.
similar to what Duathi did with speaking to
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bird,
Okay.
but this will only send typically a scroll. Think a carrier pigeon, but mechanical.
Okay, cool. Okay, great.
It's really hard to get the patina on those to stay good, you know?
He said one of these rings was dangerous, so start with
The swirly one,
the
right?
swirlies, right?
Just, he said don't, like, spend a lot of time with it.
I think he implied don't wear it,
Yeah.
attune to it.
So-
I don't need to do that. Yeah. About 11 minutes per item, give or take.
I mean, we're here all night.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do after?
I'm sure we can maybe rustle something to eat for the two hardworking folk in the back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just passing time until we can get out in the morning and get answers.
All right. Well, here, answers lay. Let me get to work. I'll go about the process of casting Identify as a ritual on each of these items, starting with the swirly ring, then the not so dangerous ring according to Lark, and then the thread, just to verify it's all
All right.
what we think it is.
The first ring, as you look over it, immediately you realize, this is something that, when he said spend some time with it, it's going to take more than what you are doing to it now. As you realize that this is a ring of shooting stars. Instinctually, you know that this ring, the little silver that's being pulled through the gems, can be released as small motes of light. But release enough energy from this, and it creates a cackling ball of lightning.
All right. But it's controllable by the wearer of the ring,
It is,
presumably,
yes.
not just some explosive device we're keeping in a bag of holding for.
Yeah, completely
just for fun.
controllable.
Okay,
Once
good.
attuned to
Nice.
this ring,
Should find
you
out.
have control over the lights being emitted, as well as the ball of lightning, both its motions and its size.
And I assume the spending of time is that it requires attunement.
Mhm.
Does it have charges? I also learned that.
Yes. That has 6 charges.
All right. Well, this one could pack quite a punch, but seems to be all in order, so to speak. I'll start on the next ring.
This ring, a lot more simple. It is a ring of protection.
Mm-hmm. Simple abjuration magic, defensive item, pretty basic stuff. Useful.
Okay.
And the thread, I mean, I'd be surprised if it's not what he said it was, but let's give it a go anyway.
Absolutely, taking 11 minutes on this. Transmutation magic emanates from this as you realize this is a spool of ever-mending thread. You know that its most common use when used to create an article of clothing that if damaged, the clothes will repair themselves almost instantaneously.
Wow.
Dang it.
This can also be used on things other than clothing.
Just a little bit of it, or the whole article of clothing needs to be made out of.
Segments of the thread could be interwoven into the clothing. It doesn't have to be made just of it, but enough. The larger the item, the more thread would need to be used. But there's enough thread here that you would estimate for 6 sets of clothes and less larger objects.
Like a sail, perhaps.
Whatever you can use thread on.
I think Larkspire for this is probably one of the tailors or one of the sailors.
Yeah.
It sounds practical.
I'm sort of still sitting in a corner, sort of still a little tremory, but watching.
I'll kind of lean over to Chauncey and whisper to him,
Go over to Dwalthi. Give her a little fist bump.
As you direct Chauncey to head to Dwathi, you feel, Dwathi, Chauncey's presence
Hello,
up next to
Chauncey.
you as he pushes closer and closer to your left side. And then one arm just comes up and his fingers close. As you push against, there's just a pink as he puts his foot back on the floor.
I'll just sort of snuggle up next to him. It's a little awkward because he's short, but I'll still do it.
These edges, where his shoulder is, it's fairly round.
Yeah,
Most of
those
the
are
sharp
smooth.
parts are just on the drill,
yeah.
Yeah.
whether above
The
or
sharp
below.
parts are the sharp parts.
I'll sort of still snuggle up.
Hmm?
Oh.
We did good. You did good.
You did good.
Yeah.
But in general, it showed that we have range.
At least 300 feet for me, and well, you went the furthest, Swathi. Thank you.
Doing all right? Feeling the post-excitement jitters?
What,
Do,
oh, what?
sorry, I was gonna say, do we still have stuff I can make some calming tea for you?
I do have a little bit of mint left. And
I've
I'll
got
reach into my herbalism kitten.
And the last dregs of leaves from
You
But-
can keep your fancy tea. I'll just
Yeah,
have that.
I don't think I can brew even in 1 cup, so if you want to supplement.
That's more like morning tea.
Yeah.
This is evening tea, I think.
I'll go make some for you. I figure I know where a
There's
kitchen-ish area
There's
would
not
be
a
at this
lot of a
point.
kitchen here. The
Is-
Botkin's warehouse workshop has a place to sleep, and has a place for some mugs, and you do find
Is there a kettle?
it's not a kettle.
A pot?
It is mostly mugs, water. It appears as though though Bodkin does spend a lot of time here, this isn't his home. This is just where he works. But at the amount of time that he has spent here, it might as well be his house.
Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing to make warm. Well, can't you warm things?
I can warm
Okay,
it. or-
I'll just get a mug, put water in it, put some mint in there, hand
Yeah.
that to Dorothy, and
You all
say,
know, with
"Warm, please."
Yeah.
everything that you have, it is amongst yourselves. It is very easy to brew
Great.
a cup of tea.
I'll wrap my hands around the mug and then like counterintuitively blow over it, and you see the steam start to actually rise.
Thank you.
Of course.
What is the age of arrogance?
What?
Arrogance?
Yeah, it was something that Lark mentioned yesterday.
Oh.
Today.
Everyone, feel free to give me a history check.
Hell yeah.
I think this came up before. I
That
thought
wasn't at 20.
Natural 20
I
on
thought-
your history check.
the
For a
contact on the boat.
26.
I think I've heard it before, but
It's
I've
a
never
soft one.
asked.
17.
17.
Never asked what it is before, I don't think.
Soft one.
A soft one.
Yeah.
Natural one.
17, the both of you know the Age of Arrogance was essentially in the timeline, the time that led up to everything happening, the time before the walls went up, a time that at this point most everyone has forgotten about. But Andy, you know it is called the Age of Arrogance because of the belief that whatever caused the Ashen Veil was due to the arrogance of the people a long time ago.
I'll explain that.
Oh. Okay. So these spring talons are that old? And
Yeah,
the
I mean,
ruins and
they're-
everything?
They look not new.
Okay. I was just sort of, I've heard it a couple of times and just didn't know what the phrase meant. So there you go.
Yeah.
To me, I'm only vaguely familiar, but the impression I get from the idea of it is laid bare here with the spring talon in pieces, and well, sure, it stood the test of time, but now it's worthless. Your bird, is fragile, fleeting, and yet still works, still here. And the birds back then, I'm sure, were much more similar to today than the rest of the world. So if a man thinks they can outlive nature, outpace it, outdo its power, that to me seems pretty darn arrogant. And I've learned quite a few lessons in arrogance since coming out here, so...
Okay. Well,
You clank the mug
I
against
do.
Chauncey's drill.
okay.
Is
Well,
that all that's shaking you, Dorothy, or are you just drained?
no, that I'm just it was just very scary. No, that's just the thing that was sort of on my mind. I'm just
Something that crossed my mind while I was out there, I wish you all could experience what it's like to be weightless underwater. It's kind of peaceful. But I was able to recover some arcane resources while we were prepping, and now that Aaron's back, I didn't need to expend them, so I have another message I could send today.
Cool.
But Dorothy, do we want to try to get a hold of your parents, or brother, sister, whoever?
it's just my parents left. That I would. I mean, I have that. There's more family and friends than that, but my brothers are gone.
Right.
But I thought about that when we were able to reach out to your father. I thought about reaching out to my parents, but I don't know what I would say that wouldn't confuse them.
Well,
Yeah.
if my dad's confused.
And
Yeah.
that's very kind of you.
I mean, it's the least I can do.
But I think it's a message that only has 25 words, and I don't know how to explain all of this to them.
Do you want to just let them know you're okay and that you miss them?
I think this would worry them more.
All right.
Don't get me wrong, I've thought about this. And well, I'm sure they would be, it would be nice for them to know that I'm, still alive and things, and I'm sure they don't think I am. I don't think they would understand who they were talking to or how. And
Yeah.
um,
Well, consider it a standing offer if ever you change your mind.
thank you. It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
I was, the last of their kids,
Yeah.
So,
Well, I can't imagine what it's like to lose your brothers. I've never had any. And I don't know what it's like to lose a kid, but I do know what it's like to lose your parents. And, I still, from time to time, will write a little note and sign it and fold it up. And part of me knows there's no way that message goes anywhere. But it helps.
yeah, I think about my brothers a lot, my older brother's been gone for a little bit, but my younger brother not so much, so
Tell us something about that.
My older brother was a very good mark. He was really easy to get to believe things and to get, accidentally involved in tricks. And so, we would sometimes, just get him to do kind of goofy things when we were little. But, he was older than we were, so he humored us a lot. Yeah. So,
I'm sure you had quite the childhood.
I mean, sure. It was hard. It's hard out there. I've been training to sort of do the things I do since I was very young. Very, very, very young. So, it was hard, but it meant that I always knew what I was going to do, So,
What were your big plans before all of this?
I didn't really have any big plans, which really irritated my parents. But no, I always wanted to, keep exploring and go just a little bit further, and continue to study with my teachers, and there wasn't really any plans other than, you wake up, you're alive, so you do what you need to do, and you go to bed, and hopefully you're alive the next day too,
Good enough plans in my eyes.
In a weird way, that sounds similar to a lot of people that find their place within the order here.
Yeah.
But it's sort of a grateful every day kind of thing. But I'm sure you don't really want to hear about any of that, so
No.
it's not very exciting.
Dorothy, hearing about new places has excited me since I was little.
We've got the right crowd here. If there's really only two people, I think, that would be even more interested to hear this, and that would be Lord Janeb and Lady Elaine, and they'd have very different reasons why.
I mean, I don't think they'd find it very exciting. It's
You're from somewhere that is currently uncharted. Granted, that's most of the stuff outside the walls, but you're interesting, Dwathy. And Lady Elaine is interested in anything that involves travel and
Yeah.
new people, and
New places.
Lord Janeb just likes knowing interesting things.
Novelty.
Yeah.
If you really were just a local, like yokel, like I incorrectly assumed, maybe they wouldn't be interested. But Dorothy, you can do amazing things, and well, you may have wandered a little further this time, but I'm sure your teachers are proud.
Maybe you'll get extra credit. I don't know if that's how that works.
I don't know what those words mean.
Neither do I.
I mean, I know what they are, but then together, I don't know what that means. You know, dating from that too, so you know.
What about
I
them?
mean, you should be.
Would they worry to hear you're still alive?
I'm sure they would be. I mean, I grew up with a few of my teachers and, you know, fellow, you know, folks who study nature, like, what we could, you know. I grew up with them as much as I grew up with my family, so, I'm sure they are also sad. But the same thing if I was to try and explain this to them.
Oh, I know. It's
I don't know how to explain where I am. And how,
I mean, if they're your teachers, it's almost better to send them a bird.
I wouldn't know where to send it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, maybe you can tell them in person. We can all tell them in person together.
It's very kind of you. I wouldn't get our hopes up too much, but
I mean, if we can send a message, I mean, as much as calling home sounds nice to say, hey, not dead yet, is it worth letting either of your contacts or your contacts know that we've got a name and some evidence now? It's not just conjecture.
I don't know about you, Aaron, but I think we only know enough to rattle cages in the wrong way and bring heat upon ourselves. But
I just, not saying that he will betray us as soon as we hand him stuff or reveal our hand, but if the only evidence is in here and on paper,
and yeah,
if that's gone and you're gone, that information's gone.
but if Locke was going to betray us outright, he had the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
He knew where we'd be. We'd be breaking the rules. He recommended we do so. And he didn't. So, I at least think we should see this through, deliver the package, see where that goes.
Then maybe we send a message to Zachary's mom.
Oh,
Or let him send a little bit of something back home.
yeah.
I don't know. If you have it tonight, it's...
Locke was the other recipient. Let him know. Mission accomplished.
kind of one of just show up tomorrow.
Yeah,
All right then.
I don't think he's worrying about us, so
And if he is, good.
yeah.
Well, before I offer to the kid, either of you,
No, please. We've confused my father enough, so
I have too many questions.
should we prank call my father?
that
Do you think
is
he would
up
think
to
it's
you.
funny?
Absolutely not. Nor do I want to do that.
See, that's really
Hey, Zachary.
the trick of a fun, good mark. My brother always thought things were funny.
Yeah, no. Not
Isn't
a
your
fan of
dad,
jokes.
like, on the council?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
That's not why he doesn't like jokes, though. That's
I mean, Lord Janab was on the council and he likes jokes.
Sorry, did I hear my name?
Yeah. Do you have anything you'd like to call home about to let your mother know how well things are going for you?
I mean, huh? Yeah. I mean, it'd be great to tell her. Ooh, no, I don't think I'd tell her everything.
No, you definitely can't
No.
tell her everything. You
No.
got about 25 words to fit whatever sentiments
But
into. And
Gotcha.
I'm sure she'd love to hear from you.
also, she won't hear from you. She will hear from me.
Right.
So
Well,
at least 5 to 7 of those words
hear
need to be.
About you.
Oh, so this is
Yeah.
a like you're gonna talk to her thing.
I'm gonna talk at her, and she may or may not talk at me back, very briefly.
Oh, so it's gonna happen now?
It could happen. It could.
I mean, as he looks outside, it is. She might be asleep right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know we're working late into the night, but
That's a fair point. Sure. Yeah. We keep weird hours.
I never really thought about that aspect of it, you know?
Yeah.
Dreams make it real weird.
All right. Well, then we'll save that.
Try again another time.
Yeah.
sure, yeah. 25 words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll think up some stuff.
And I at least she's met us, so she'll recognize my voice. We don't have to spend a lot of time on the introduction.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And maybe don't tell her the whole city blew up and now we're on
No.
lockdown.
I was. I was thinking I would include that I was okay,
Okay.
just in
In
case.
case she heard.
I imagine word's probably gonna get down or
Yeah.
up to Gladen, so
Fair.
yeah.
Well, think about it, and
Yeah.
tomorrow, next day, maybe.
Okay.
All right.
If it's alright with you, I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna just conk out for a little while. I'm just gonna be over here. Don't mind me.
If it's all right with us, we're the ones invading your space.
Right.
Uh-huh.
We'll stay out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a break.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna
do.
be over there.
Yeah.
Try not to make more noise than we are. I haven't been able. You're all great. It has not been a problem. I'm gonna go
You're
now.
fine.
As he
Go rest.
heads over towards the section with the hammocks. There are 2 now, and
He's got the job. guys.
takes a one of the mugs, dunks it into the barrel, and starts downing some water and chewing on something that was left on top of another one.
Wasn't official till the second hammock went up.
Of course.
Yeah. Well,
The wind did the second.
we could play games. There's some other work on the list that we've never gotten around to. We can do a little examination, experimentation with Chauncey and now Pal. Now that Pal can... Has Chauncey met Pal?
I mean, he was with me. Wait, was he? I can't remember.
I think he was,
For
yeah.
a hip, tall, like metal dog badger
Mhm.
thing, he's very easy to forget about.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I
seems.
just feel like he's always there.
Yeah.
He's just so well behaved that sometimes it's like, wow.
I don't believe it would be considered a full meeting, but they were both here when you had Pal leave.
Yeah.
Right.
We could also rest.
Yeah, we should probably go to
I know
sleep.
you're on assignment.
Yeah, and well, I got a lot of pent up. Was really hoping to see what happened when you cast a fireball underwater. So, you know, I'm glad things went according to plan. Just a lot easier
That
than.
was your plan.
Hmm. Well, no, the original plan was a 15-foot illusion, but I figured if we needed to draw attention, a big bang would have done the trick,
That's a good plan.
right? I mean, we can still do it. You want to see? You
No!
No, we're good.
I don't think anyone else here needs to be
Okay.
nearly as. Their city just
You don't
blew up.
make any more plans without discussing them out loud with the rest of us.
It was an emergency plan.
I
It's a very good emergency
understand, but the city was just on fire.
But this was the river. It would have been fine.
No,
Nobody
it
would
doesn't.
be hurt.
It
Maybe some
doesn't
fishes.
Anyway,
Anyway, yeah, rest is probably the right answer. But
I don't care how cool that sounds, Finn.
It is pretty funny.
And I do kind of want to see that at some point, but I'm really glad that you didn't do that.
me, mostly.
Fine. Oh my god, go.
you're going to kill us.
No.
I didn't
wouldn't have
think my
killed us,
death
it just
would
would've
be
been
shaped like Finn.
What?
You know,
It was 300 feet away from all
It
of us,
doesn't matter.
and the Cracker Jack stayed put
You
away.
were
Thank you very much.
Yeah, because it's not in your possession anymore.
Right.
speaking of which, should we put this in the bag?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Sure.
I'm sorry, maybe I'm thinking this is funnier than
No,
it is.
it's fine.
but,
I just want to throttle you sometimes.
you know,
And
it's so funny to
You just
me.
hear in your head Aaron's voice, Finn. As you look over, he's just looking at you, blank face, but his eyes are telling.
I'm starting to understand why you two are paired together.
It's so funny to me because you two are both so young, but I keep forgetting you're as young as he is.
I'm younger than
I
him.
know.
It's the scales, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It sounds to the fact that I can't imagine Andy blowing up water.
No, because I
water.
wouldn't.
Oh no, see, I can if you thought that there was some mechanical advantage to blowing up water in a
Sure,
small
that's
space.
different.
Is it?
A little. Okay, I'm gonna see if Zachary will let me sleep in the hammock next to him.
As you go over, he's sitting down. Oh, hey.
Hey, mind if I sleep
I.
here?
Sure. That one's Bogdan's. Tell you what, I'll sleep in that one. You sleep in mine.
Great.
That way, when I trade out for
Perfect.
a break, he can have it.
Cool.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I'll just sleep on the floor. That's
Mhm.
okay. I don't need to sleep yet anyway. I'm still kind of.
As you begin to nestle in for the night, the evening continues. The work happens constantly. At one point, Bogdan comes in, relieving Zach from his break. For anyone who is still conscious, there's a oh,
Hey.
Hello, Bogdan.
as
I
he
meant
just
to be up.
it's pretty much all the conversation he has.
Does he specifically kind of looking at his mechanical side of his arm, remembering how he was like working and straining up at the bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like glimmer of that like while he's coming back from working or as he goes to work? Like if I were to just, I don't know how open this forge is, by the way, but
Yeah,
If I were able
the
to watch him
outside is
work.
fairly open. At one point, you could step out
Yeah.
and observe him while he's working. The arm seems fully encased. It looks like sheets of metal. Looks like a gauntlet for a hand. It's not like the spring talons where they're open and you can see anything on the inside. It just looks like a heavily plated arm. At this point, the only reason that you would think that you know that it is false is having seen it come off.
I think I'll just, as much as I have so many questions for him, I want to just let him get the work done and just observe and stay out of the way of him. But I just want to like watch a master in his element.
As you keep watching, the hammering, the rhythm begins to tone out. And you feel as though the burning of the flame, the repetitiveness of the hammering, and the crackling of the smoke raising up creates a music all of its own. And as the night progresses, it is a long rest for all of you.
I'm going to fall asleep in the corner where I imagine I was sitting with Chauncey, kind of leaned against the wall.
As the sun comes up. The sounds of the forge continue. It has been a constant working through the night. And you can see how these two have worked in such a rhythm that they seem to be getting enough sleep. They're not exhausted, but they are tired. But they are well at work. In the morning, there are now stacks of these massive metallic fins or teeth or blades have a curvature to them and come to a point at the end with a wide base on the other. And they are nearly identical, piece after piece after piece.
Wasn't I working on something, helping with something with teeth? Is it the same?
It is.
The iris for the
Yeah.
valve control.
It's going to get the water back at the flow forge.
Hopefully.
As you all wake up, Zachary is working the forge. Bogdan is chewing on a piece of hardtack. Well, good morning to all of you.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
letting us take up space.
Truly,
For everything.
not the problem at all.
I appreciate it very much. Are you rebuilding the forge?
I'm working on rebuilding the waterways, or the siphoning system that goes into the walls.
Oh, okay.
The fins, are they rudders for boats? What do they do?
No, these, as he tang tang hits one. This is what it closes up the pipes that lead into the river, and basically lets the pressure pull and block off any areas where damage might have happened.
I know this isn't really necessarily your area of expertise, but I know that you had a lot to do with the building of the flow forge the first time, right? And the bridges and everything.
That's correct, yes.
Do you know why there are? I've heard it was for filtering, but there were trees in the flow forge.
That part I was not as... I did the mechanics.
Do you know what the trees were for?
This is my understanding that they brought in it would take in the filth and the muck and the mire.
Okay, so a
And
filtration system of sorts.
exactly, they would grow off of it.
What would happen if those trees were now tainted or dead, and your siphon system was reactivated.
Well, that would mean that the water may come back, but
It'll be dirty.
It'll need new trees.
it'll be dirty.
Yeah.
Were those trees special for some reason, or were they just trees?
That one's beyond me.
Is there a U, but for the trees?
Not. You're starting to get out of my
Yeah,
range of knowledge
sorry.
here.
No, it's all. It's
Also,
all fair.
how? I mean, you're obviously feeling better.
I am, yes. It's that night. It took a lot out of me, but I'm
Understandable.
yeah back on my feet, back at the forge, doing what I need to do to keep the place built, alive. Well, I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
Can we take anything for you on our way back up?
I know that they're sending people down to pick it up. It's gonna take a lot to move all that, and at the moment, it is really doing piece by piece over the bridge, and because they could only do one at a time in the tram.
We'll let the experts
Yeah.
handle it.
Your forge has been firing non-stop. Do you have projections on when you get a break?
I think after 2 more days of this,
Yeah.
we'll be done.
Okay.
Wow.
That's so amazing.
Well,
Your part
With
will be
that.
done.
with this, then I'm sure there's going to be more things that they find that are broken,
Yeah.
and I'll have to fix.
Okay.
Well, it
But-
seems that Zachary came at the exact right time.
It really was a send.
I'm glad he's been doing a good job for you. He's a sweet boy.
The whole city of Venture is actually in Zachary's debt now. Because imagine if your extended sleep was not covered. That's a lot of output to miss.
It is, but there's a lot more people working on this right now than just
Yeah.
me.
I'm sure. But you are very good at what you do.
I am.
Thank you for answering my questions. I appreciate you, even though you didn't necessarily know all the answers. I really appreciate it.
Well, I hope you're able to enjoy your stay, and I'm gonna get back to it.
We're
Thank you.
beyond enjoying our stay,
Mhm.
but thank you. And if you want us to send anything down to you to keep you motivated,
I could use a drink at 4.
great.
Mhm.
We'll arrange that.
Good.
The fix?
No. I need
Never.
a good drink.
I hear ya.
We'll get out of your hair.
Right? As he mops some sweat off of his brow, loads his gloves back onto his arms, well, the one arm, and heads back out.
Does he wear a glove on his other arm?
He does not.
Badass.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, let's head out.
as per usual, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Why are things being rolled?
Mm-hmm.
Um, well,
Luckily, it's just right up the bridge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Duathi is right. I think we try to get a little bit further in with him now. But I'll leave the talking to the experts and the people whose jobs are actually tied to this. Sorry.
I mean, all of our jobs are tied to this because we took a job.
You know what I mean, Finn.
I know. I just... Not looking forward to this part.
No.
What exactly is our game plan for this? I think we should get as much information out of him as possible.
I still don't know if it's wise to let him know what we know, or tip off that we discovered the coal.
Yeah.
He knows.
I
He
think he knows
suspects.
more than we know.
He said the wine with the kick.
He mentioned one of the boxes had more in it. He said we found the one without the cake.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't necessarily know we knew what that meant.
It's the same wine, Finn.
I know.
He was fishing as much as we were.
Right, but we didn't give an indication that we knew.
At some
Well,
point,
I wasn't
he's
there, but
going to have to know that you know. Because your job was to investigate who sent it, and you found it out.
And he's kept his hands very clean.
And at some point, what he tells us if he's caught, it might either expedite your jobs or give us a new lead.
And on the topic of if he's caught, if we do decide that we want to question him with more magical means,
Yes.
let's just say something tells me it won't go well for him. That I get the sense that he'll probably have to tell us.
Yeah.
Just like a god captain having to jump off a desk, do a somersault. Or,
Something like that.
right.
never let him live that down.
I still think collectively his reach is further than us. I think our best bet is to lead someone straight to him or catch him in the act somehow.
Well, either we're leading a deacon who's already in the city for their own reasons right to him. They'll take quick work of him.
With what evidence, though? There's
We
nothing
have-
illicit in this shipment.
I mean, I think you at the very least have enough to talk to him about it at this point.
And you have orders from, or at least you have a job.
My job is not to confront suspects. My job is not to carry a list of suspects.
It's not.
We don't have a stake in this as far as jobs or job security or who's doing what based on whose rules. The three of you have real, jobs that you were instructed to do that sent you out here. Are you meant to just figure out information or get the order to move as fast as you can?
Are you supposed to report this, or are you supposed to take him in? I don't understand.
Our instructions are to observe, record, and return.
Yeah, I don't believe we are the forces that are supposed to bring him in.
You're describing the job of a deacon, and, well, there's one here, and they're not investigating him. So,
But if a Lord Keeper, or whatever it is that you do, were to bring it to a deacon, wouldn't they have to take it seriously?
they certainly might look into it. But, again, something tells me Locke's reach goes further, at least here in this city.
Well, if your job is to investigate and record, maybe you could at the very least ask him why he's trafficking in those things, where he got it and where it's going.
And what happens when he asks us where it is now?
I think you tell him that it's at the bottom of the river with the rest of the cask. Or you could tell him you have it. What does it matter?
The only thing matters is if we do nothing, we learn nothing.
I'm not saying we do nothing. I just, the direct approach has never really been a winning strategy for me, specifically, and for us, mostly.
I guess for me, it's you're supposed to make sure people don't have, that if there's something that people have that they shouldn't have, that you make sure that they don't have it anymore when he wasn't supposed to have that.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it matter if he knows you took it? He shouldn't have had it.
Are you worried about what he's gonna do?
Yeah, are you not?
That man is very clever.
Yeah.
But we've also fought literal spiders that come from nowhere. We have looked death in the eye multiple times. We don't know if he's going to attack us or just go, "Oh, you caught me," which is unlikely.
And it seems like all of you have very respected, the people. You know, a cardinal, and your father is a council member, and you all kind of work for people who are very, powerful and things, and
Where it matters, you all outrank him. Maybe not in venture, but in the order. Or we lie, and he knows we lie. And then what do we learn?
We learn what he wants us to know next. Because if you're right, and I think you are, that he knows that we know more than we're letting on. Let's just say every time we think we have a winning hand and try to play it, we end up doing the other person's bidding. And you're right, we've cleared our fair share of tribulations. The only thing that's got the better of us are people we underestimated.
We're not playing a game. We're not
Yes,
playing cards.
certainly feels like it.
We're dealing with people. People are chaos who try to find meaning. He's found his meaning in the collection. We can't try to outwit him. All we can do is listen and learn and see where it goes. There's so much we don't know. So much we don't know.
And I mean, honestly, even if it's just you ask him, if you do use magical, you've said you can make people tell the truth.
I can create a space in which telling the truth is easier to do than to lie, but they don't have to say anything at all if they don't want to.
Okay.
Right.
But
But it
ultimately,
helps.
Yeah. If you go in there and you tell him, hey, you shouldn't have had this thing and it's bad, and we just want to know why and how. Maybe he'll tell you.
Aaron, any input?
I think that we can talk about it all day, but until we actually do something,
Yeah.
we're going to stay in this quagmire that is nothing.
Andy?
We have everything at our disposal. And telling people what we have is one thing. If we send a message about what we have, at the end of the day, we're still just sending them our word. We're not sending them the contraband that we've found. And if we're looking for more answers, the only way that we're going to get them is if we actually ask them of him.
All right. If you're comfortable, Andy. I do think there's one card we cannot play. He would not have given us that signed note if he knew we had the letter to Silas. That's the one piece of hard evidence we have outside of the Crackerjack.
I think you can.
We give him as much as he needs.
Yeah.
And if he ends up needing to know that that's a thing, then you can tell him, but put it in the bag too. That note.
Mhm.
You know?
We currently have all of the power in the situation, except for we don't have a status here in Venture.
All
But
right.
we have all of the proof and the evidence.
Yeah.
So, he's caught one way or another.
Well,
But we can be smart about it. A couple of us can stay outside, or there was one lock on the door. Plenty of windows. I know windows don't really matter much to some of us. We'll be okay. We can breathe.
All right. I like the give him only as much as he needs. What do we give him first, aside from the shit
We start there.
And then I think we can, talk to him about the core and that we know about it.
What if we just insinuate?
No. I think you have to tell him. But I don't want to tell you what to do.
I get the impression that honesty doesn't come to him often. Honesty might disarm him enough. Granted, I don't think he's quite disarmable.
No.
But enough honesty might disarm him enough to make some headway. We know what core is. You're from the Adergog. I feel like you would have to know what core is, right?
Yeah, but any admission now is an admission of dishonesty. Not
Then
the
you're
other way
not
around.
in the Adergog anymore.
What if we just speak his language? How do we get the job with the wine that packs a little extra punch if it pays a little better?
I think that if we tell him that you are all investigating where it came from and why, and let him know that you're just trying to figure out more about it, and maybe you can offer him a little bit of a deal for more information, That's a big one you have over him. The fact that you're not going to turn him in unless he talks a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
You said, you can skirt the truth in order to lie. Does it only work on him or all of us?
It works on everyone who hears the song and lets it into their heart, Finn.
So what if we already sent the crackerjack off to a trusted associated with the conservators and left it with Zachary here?
No, I don't think we should do that.
Just so it's
Start
not on
leaving
a
a
person.
highly dangerous, illegal
Well,
thing.
not all of us have to go in.
Right.
I still haven't met him. He's not
He hasn't-
familiar with me, so
We leave it with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do what I did last time and stay out and kind of keep watch is the wrong phrase, but be around if you all need help.
I can do that with you too,
Yeah.
I'm not very helpful in there.
Yeah. Dorothy and I can hang back and we can connect mentally with Erin and
And then, if you end up needing help, we can kind of come, come in and help, and then he won't be prepared for the two of us being there if he tries to do anything silly,
yeah, actually maybe you leave your thieves' tools with me in case I have to get through any locks to get to you.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the space that I can create, I'm happy to have that wash over me too. I mean, I'm not going to be immune to it.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is I think if we are trying to gain his trust and honesty, we should let him know we're
Yeah.
putting this up and that we are affected by it too. And then we need to be mindful of how we share our side. But what I was getting at is if we implied it's already out of the city, out of our hands, and other people, other authorities know about it, it gives us some cover.
We don't even need to say it's out of the city. It's with
You could
the
just
conservators.
let him know that it could be, and that if that meeting doesn't go the way you want it to, it will be.
I think with the conservators is safe, especially
Yeah.
if you are in, something that makes you tell the truth. You're not lying.
Mm-hmm. Junior conservator and a conservator apprentice, now blacksmith's apprentice, still qualifies, I think.
You can just leave it with the conservators.
Yeah, I think
Well, no, of
just me.
course, yeah.
We will
Yeah.
be outside.
Right, but
We're not staying here. We've been in their hair enough and are still here discussing, so
I want to be close enough that if you need me, I can get inside.
Yeah.
I can get inside very quickly.
Yeah, isn't
He'll know that you're missing. He'll know. It's.
And
He's not stupid.
he'll know I'm
It's gonna be
missing
fine.
a partner,
Yeah.
so
you what?
he'll know. I think that a lawkeeper usually goes with a conservator, so that's all I was trying to phrase around. Just that my partner's waiting right outside with the thing that you want, and you can just blow us all up now and go get it, and all good.
Mm.
You know, that's what I'm worried about.
You were just talking about how you wanted to blow up the river with a fireball.
Yeah, that's again harmless. Show fireworks.
Come on, let's just.
You're more
Let's
powerful
go.
than
Go.
I think you know.
The more we talk about it, the more
All right.
we're gonna.
The more you're going to think about it, and the more you're going to doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to do something.
Be creative, Finn. Come on. Let's think on our feet. I'll
Sure.
open the door to Bodgan's Forge and.
Creative. Honest.
All right.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
As you step outside, it is the early morning. People are going about their work. Turning towards the bridge. At the base of the standing tower that leads up to the upper bridge section, you can see a crowd of people that all seem to be surrounding the stairs leading up.
Does it seem like regular, like we're waiting for the morning to start, or does it seem like there's some activity,
A
some
din.
hubbub?
It looks like there's some hubbub. There's a lot of chatter. And a lot of them are held around the stairs that lead to the inside of this tower, and they seem to be looking at directly inside the wall that is basically the opposite side of the wall that you were facing the outside of.
I'll see if I can push past and use a little bit more of my officious vibe and.
As you
Gets
step
close.
through, you're hearing, who would have done that? It should have been at night. That was dangerous. Another voice. I know it was a matter of time before people got upset about this. And as you turn to look, you see written in what looks like black paint across the wall 2 words. Free venture.
Free venture.
And on that, we are going to end tonight's episode.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you all
Oh no.
so very much for being here. I hope that you have enjoyed the show. We will not be here next week, as it is the last week of the month, but we will be back in 2 weeks to talk about Free Venture, to go see Lark Calder, and to see what is going to happen next. In the meantime, if you have enjoyed being here, even if you haven't enjoyed being here, thank you so much for being here. But if you have enjoyed being here and are looking for ways to help support us, give us a like, give us a follow, spread the word, let people know that this wonderful show is happening.
If after that cliffhanger you are no longer enjoying being here.
You can find us on YouTube, Twitch. You can find all of our episodes in podcast form wherever you get your podcasting enjoyment. Also, if you would like to support us monetarily, it is certainly appreciated, never required, but it is because of the generous support of you all that we are able to continue doing this. Over on Twitch, you can subscribe to us. On YouTube, you can become a member, but the most effective way of supporting us is over on our Patreon. You can head to patreon.com/adventurespack to go check us out there. For those of you who are supporting us, we're going to be heading on over to our Discord for a post-show hangout to talk about our feelings, to continue talking, and talk about the action that will be taken next episode, potentially.
You get access to the chat. Go
Yep.
check it out.
And so you can be a fly on the wall as we all talk there. Also, if you want to be a part of our community, you can head on over to our Discord. You don't have to be any of those supporters to be a member. We would love to have you there. Thank you all again so very much for being here. Have a great couple of weeks. We will see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.